Heart of the Matter wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors, Coast News Group, Godania Organic Eatery, Repegs, and John Milkowski Tax Law. Together, let's get to the heart of the matter. Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm Junan.
I'm Dr. Lisel Lewis, and I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Los Cuernos California Wine.
Woo.
Speaking of, I have a gift for our guest, Ralph.
Thank you so much.
Our special thank you for joining us today. Ralph, I've worked with you myself. You are my favorite person to see at the group every week.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You want to introduce yourself? How would you say, what is it that you do nowadays?
I am a hypnotist and a mentalist.
Okay.
And mentalist is an entertainment-focused magic performance. It focuses on mind reading, and hypnosis, I suspect most people are familiar with.
All right.
You'd be surprised. You know, I think people have this idea when you say things like hypnosis, you know, magic, but it's like they probably just like create their own.
Well, most
idea.
people's association, I believe, with hypnosis is stage hypnosis, which is perfect, wonderful in its place. Hypnotherapy is a little bit different. What I run into on a regular basis is people will say, well, I can't be hypnotized. When I ask why, they'll say, well, I went to a stage show and I got thrown off the stage. I was asked not to take part. And that's a different thing. And it's in that moment when you have 1,000 people in an audience and 40 people on stage, there's no time to take that extra second with each person.
Right.
But everybody can be hypnotized.
That's
so
amazing.
that's what I try to share with people.
Well, I've always been intrigued by it, and I was actually hypnotized by you, which was amazing.
Thank you.
You came to the group, and again, who invited you to the group?
John Quirk from SoCal Wellness Retreats.
Perfect. And what do you think of the group so far?
I love it. I've gone to a couple of networking groups before and gave it an honest go, but just wasn't for me, actually. And this one I came to kind of, to be honest, expecting more of the same. And it was such a wonderful, complete opposite of what I expected. This group is amazing. Everybody's been nothing but giving and sharing and honest, and nobody's trying to sell, but they're trying to share. And then that's, you guys, your energy, just it's contagious. So I love waking up every Friday morning and coming here.
I love hearing that.
For me, is saying a lot to get up on a Friday morning when I don't have to.
Well, plus you don't live very close. Right?
No, I live in downtown San Diego. So.
Yeah, so appreciate you coming. But I say it every week. I feel like the right people show up at the right time, and I love seeing you. I love getting a hug from you, and it makes the Friday really fulfilling. But
I think everyone's excited to see you.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I bet you everybody who's like seen your work or just heard of your work is like, I want to see. I want to hear.
It's pretty different stuff. And you tell somebody that you're a mind reader or a hypnotist, you immediately get their attention. Because it's different.
It is. And again, I've always been intrigued by it, but then you use me as an example. I'm still blown. I'm still trying to figure it out. And you work with a couple other people during that day. And it just, again, it's one of those things where I'm intrigued by it. I've seen it on TV. I see it on YouTube. But to actually see it and be a part of it, that was my first experience. And
well, you did wonderful.
Yeah. I think people are intrigued when they can't figure it out.
Right.
And also maybe if they're like a little nervous, a little scared. Like, do you ever get people who are like, not wanting to interact with you or not wanting to work with you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Ralph. I'm a hypnotist. It happens often. But honestly, those feelings of mild anxiety, a little bit of fear, those aren't bad for what I do.
Right.
With hypnosis specifically, that energy that you feel, that little bit of nervousness, when you redirect it slightly into a focused thought, it's really strong. You're using that energy in a positive way instead of having to just be useless anxiety and uncomfortable negative feelings. You can redirect it into something productive and positive.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. I definitely want to come back to this, but let's go back. What got you into this? Like, how did you get started? Where are you from?
I have this whole Hogwarts backstory. My mother is a high priestess, Wiccan woman. So I was just raised with a lot of occult spirituality in the house. And then I was always fascinated, so I was always reading up on different occult topics. And then my neighbor moved in, and he was the president of the Society of American Magicians. And he took me under his wing, and I started to mentor me in magic.
And where was this?
This is in Lower East Side of New York.
Okay.
And then right across the street at that same time, and I was about 12 years old, this little occult shop opened, this little, new age spiritual shop opened up. And I was fascinated by what they did. So I started to hang around, and then I ended up working there for 4 years. So I learned how to read tarot cards and give readings, palmistry, and candle carving, a lot of the ritual work. And the funny thing is that all the people from that group would look at the magicians and say, what are you doing with them? They're a bunch of fakes. And the magicians would say, what are you doing with them? They're a bunch of nuts.
Right.
And I was in the middle studying hypnosis, studying everything from both aspects of it. And so over the years, everything just kind of interwoven together for me. So if I'm performing mentalism, my goal right now is I don't care if I'm using hypnosis, suggestions, straight magic tricks, or anything else, so long as I get the desired goal for me, which is that you leave with a feeling of mystery, or you were able to escape your usual reality for a short while and experience something that's just different and just shouldn't happen in nature, but it does.
Love that.
So
kind of going back to it, when you said occult, like what is that? Because by definition,
good question.
I'm kind of what is that? What does that mean?
Witches, basically. Witches, people that do ritual work and Wiccan type studies. But it was a great little hub of like little known spiritual practices. There was a Lakshmi group, which is a Hindu goddess that was there, that it would have, they'd have services for her there. So we do that on a regular basis. And then, like I said, it was the carving candles and learning the seals of Solomon and learning how to read tarot cards and dealing with and learning from these just great, like decades long readers and spiritualists. So that contrasted with the magicians who are super skeptics and think that they should be able to figure everything out. So to me, I figured there's no reason why I should have to draw a circle around what I do and say, I'm a magician, I can only do this, or I'm this, I can only do that. And mix it all together. And that's why a lot of people that do, jumping back and forth from mentalism to hypnosis, is a lot of people in the mentalism community will give all these disclaimers about, I use my 5 senses to create the illusion of a sense, and they give all these disclaimers. And my attitude is, I don't make any claims, so I don't give any disclaimers. I just do what I do, and whatever you walk away with is what you walk away with. If you want to think it was a bunch of trickery, that's great if you had a good time. If you want to walk away and think, wow, there's something else going on, that's great too. Whatever leaves you feeling good. So,
I definitely, every time, again, I see you, every time you work with me, I feel better. Is like the direction you took, did you go right into it, or did you start another career, or what was?
I started another career. I was a paramedic for a lot of years, New York City EMS paramedic for a lot of years. I owned the martial arts school in Harlem Fighting Arts, where I taught Filipino stick and knife fighting, Hawaiian Kachikembo, Chinese Xingyi.
I love it. So a lot of your philosophy has to do with, it fit right in with the martial arts.
Exactly, yeah. And I got into EMS work because I was teaching knife fighting up in Harlem, and people would get cut or stuck once in a while, and I started to think, wow, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to deal with this if while we're training somebody gets hurt. So I took a first responders course, and then I just went down that rabbit hole. And then I became a paramedic.
Really?
Started working with EMS, and then I worked with every 911 service in Manhattan, like simultaneously at one point.
Really?
I was full-time at EMS and then per diem at 5 other hospitals. So I was just
basically you can cut people and treat them.
Cut them, treat them, cut them again.
So diverse.
Yeah, well, it's important to have
well-rounded.
Yeah. Well, the balance too. I love the balance of you growing up with that difference between the magic and the occult. It's kind of with martial arts. It's a balance. Be like water. Like you're able to kind of mold yourself.
You just reminded me of something. This is just a little off thought side topic, but I saw a real direct relationship between the martial arts and hypnosis one night when I was out in front of my building walking my dog a couple of years ago. And somebody walked up to me. Obviously, he was up to no good. And the first thing I thought is I gave him a direct suggestion. I would stop. And I pointed at his feet, and he stopped.
Wow.
And I went, wow, that's from hypnosis. That's not from the martial arts. I just gave him a direct suggestion, and he listened to it. And then that avoided everything else. I said, stop. What do you want? And then it just reset everything. It was a pattern interrupt. Boom. And then it avoided a conflict, I believe.
That is so helpful. Yeah. I'm like gonna try and remember that.
Said, stop. Pointed right at his feet, and he went.
Okay.
Okay, that works. Natron, who does jiu-jitsu as well. Hey, next time you roll with someone, just in your head say, "Don't submit me."
Stop.
Yeah, just stop.
That's amazing. Okay, I have a question, and I really want to ask before I forget, but I'm sure we'll get into all these different things. So I've heard of different people who are up to no good using their hypnosis skills, using their power to do that, mischievous thing. like how can people who are not really aware of that kind of life or what could be happening to them, like how can they protect themselves?
Well, first off, that is a real thing. And I see hypnotic principles being adopted by people that are a little, not very scrupulous.
Right.
A lot of the pickup artist guys, I guess they call themselves, they tend to latch onto a lot of hypnotic principles to get their ends, which, I mean, I'm not a fan of it. As far as protecting yourself, for me, what I do is as soon as I get the hair on the back of my neck and I think there's some of this manipulative process happening, is I start to listen to what the person's saying as though it's a transcript, and I get rid of any extra language that's not necessary, and I think, what is it that they're really saying? What is the heart of what they're saying? If you fill it with a bunch of like fluff and flowery language, like, well, all right, move all that out of the way. What is it that you're saying? Like, that mentality of whenever somebody approaches you thinking, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but what do you want?
Yes.
What do you want from me? If you're saying hello to me, like, well, maybe you just want me to feel good today, but maybe there's another reason for that. And so I think for me, whenever I suspect that, because I run into that with certain groups in the hypnosis community, and for me, it's kind of obvious. Like, some people are pretty transparent about it. They'll start to mirror you, or they'll start to use certain language. And what I'll do is I'll just like start to listen to their words as though it's a transcript and just focus on the heart of what they're saying. And that keeps, I think, things pretty in line and clean. Then you can call things out as you catch them and say, are you saying this? Because it sounds like you are saying this.
Wow.
Amazing. Okay.
Good to know. Okay. All right. That's it just came to my mind as we were talking. I remember my uncle basically told me that he felt that somebody came up to him like in a parking lot and somehow took control of his thoughts, and he went to an ATM and took out a bunch of money and paid this person. And I was like, wow, I know that's true. Like,
very true. Yeah.
Your mind is so powerful. You never know what's going to happen just walking into your Vons.
Yeah, you can change perceptions fairly quickly and fairly easily. I mean, as jokes, I've done things before where I've paid instead of with money with bottle caps.
Absolutely.
One of my mentors, I have 3 mentors: Anthony and Freddie Jacquin, father and son, and Dr. David Hill. And Anthony Jacquin actually has the BBC did a show on him years ago. It's on YouTube. It's called Hypno Survival. Wow. And he basically just went around for a month with no money in London and got himself the best room, brand new suits, all this stuff. He just walk into a tailor, hypnotize the guy, get his suit. They cleaned it all up after. Everything was paid for. But they wanted to make a point that you could do this. He walked into a hotel, got the best room for free. Walked into a tailor, got a tailored suit. Walk up to restaurants and have his food served to him. So yeah, you could absolutely be manipulative with this stuff.
It's like the Force.
So yeah,
right.
It's available.
Yeah.
So then, when you obviously kind of developed this at a young age, and you kind of fine-tuned it. You had the martial arts background. So did you ever have to use it? Or did you use it to calm people down as a paramedic? Or
yes. And hypnosis has been used for forever on battlefields, for dental work, for pain control. I would use it regularly on the ambulance with people, just calm them down. I've also had some unusual clients that most people would say hypnosis wouldn't be effective with, but I remember one person in particular that was in the middle of a full-blown meth psychosis, walking around with tinfoil over his head, like terrified. And I got a hold of him and was able to break that to where he was like from being this, terrified human being that was scared of like waves in the air to just going, thank you so much, and looking like a brand new person. So you can, you can break some pretty deep and bad situations with hypnosis pretty quickly. Wow. Which is why sometimes what I'll do is I'll ask clients if they want to take a picture before a session, and I'll take a picture after the session, because there's no mistaking it. There's no mistaking the quality. Chinese medicine, they say that your chi is what shines from your eyes when you're fully awake. Yeah. And you'll see oftentimes people before a session very tight, not making eye contact, faces tense, and after a session, skin is glowing, eyes are bright, smile comes easy, laughter comes easy. There's a new relaxation about the person, because that thing that was insurmountable 40 minutes ago is now not a problem. It's gone. And then once that realization hits it, this big giant thing, it was the top of my list, and now it's gone. Well, then these other things, they're going to be easy, right? So then you start going down the list and going, okay.
All right, we've done a great job of branding the group and Heart of the Matter. We've grown to close to 600 people. Now, how do we market this? How do we get out there? Do we do SEO? How do we get the news out there?
Coast News Group.
I couldn't, I was waking up too early, or I was sleeping too late, and now I've got that under control, just like that. So this next thing, my eating, my smoking, my drinking, my anxiety, easy.
Wow. So, can you hypnotize yourself?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, what I do in every session with anybody is I plug in this really quick, immediate process for using self-hypnosis. So that way, if you never see me again and you're 90 years old one day, you can say, oh, I remember how to do that, and you can do it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Is that something because obviously, especially being in New York, being a paramedic in New York, it's like a war zone. Did you have to kind of develop that on your own to just stay sane?
I didn't at the time, and I wish I would have. I wish I would have treated myself more, because that kind of work, my personal experience, you don't realize how mentally traumatic it is until you're away from it for a while.
Right.
So I was away from it for about a couple of years. And that's when I would see something, hear something, have a dream, and it would get me. But before that, I was bulletproof. When I was in it every day, I just took it as the norm.
Oh, wow.
But when you get away from it, that's when you...
that's when it starts to hit.
Yeah, and then over time, then everything balances out. It's
Yeah.
another memory, right? And memories are stories you tell yourself. You can change those stories, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, my father-in-law is a retired fire chief, and he says it all the time. He got to the point where he kind of cut off his emotions because he would be on, a scene where there's a kid would be decapitated, whatever, something horrible would happen. And to keep doing his work, he had to kind of just push aside.
I remember when I was, much younger, I would see some of the older people in the field going home after some of those types of calls, upset and having to do counseling. And I remember, it's not a nice thing to admit, but I remember thinking, oh, they're weak. They're kind of like, they're not, they don't have what it takes. And then as I got older and I matured a bit and I had some more life experience and eventually having kids, you appreciate what they were feeling on a different level. And so, it's definitely, I think in those busy systems, there's a reason why the attrition rate is like 2 years.
Sure.
It's like 2 years. Guys are gung ho and like 2 years are gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I heard a statistic that people who are essentially first responders being police officers, EMS, firefighters, that within 5 years of them retiring is often when they pass away, whether that be self-inflicted or
also lifestyle choices. There's a lot of, a good percentage of the ER people that I knew and the paramedics and the first responders and the nurses. There's a lot of substance abuse.
Absolutely.
To cope with what they see every day?
Yeah. Either that, or I also think there's a personality type that's drawn to that type of adrenaline junkie field, right? Because you'll get that adrenaline if you want it. If you go into that field, you're going to get it, right? So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, definitely.
And another funny comparison is, to me, mentalism is like, I think the mentalists are the quiet adrenaline junkies of the magic community, because it's like a duck on the water. On the surface, everything looks calm, but inside you're spinning 50 plates and doing all this stuff in your mind to make this thing happen.
See, he did read my mind. I see. Okay. Well, so then what, at what point were you like, I can make money doing that, and you wanted to stop being a paramedic?
It was just one of those nights in the emergency room where I brought some patient in and he was out of control and he sat up and spit on me. And I just, at that moment, I said to the staff room, I said, well, I quit. And they went, well, Ralph, you say that every week. We'll see you tomorrow. And I said, this time I mean it. Wow. And the next day I got up and I printed up business cards for Mentalism. Amazing. And I quit and I just went full, feet first into Mentalism, and it worked out amazing. And so that's kind of the trajectory of.
What year was this?
Oh God, this is 1998 maybe.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's been a while.
You've been in it for a while then.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I remember sitting there thinking, well, what else can I do? What am I qualified to do?
What do you want to do?
Yeah, and then that's what hit me. What do I want to do? And I went, I've always loved mentalism since I can remember. Since my first thoughts of watching a mentalist and Johnny Carson, I remember seeing Kreskin and going, wow, I want to do that. So it's been a lifelong passion and fascination, and it never lets. I keep waiting till I kind of get used to it and for the excitement to die down, but it never does. Every time a client leaves and they're doing great, every time I finish a show and I'm feeling good and clean and happy after work, right? Like I just love what I do more all the time.
It's a part of you.
It is a part of me. I don't change hats. I mean, this is me 24/7.
That's great.
So when you were younger, or even before you can remember, did you know, like, I have something special that some other people don't have?
Yeah, that's true. Can you develop it, or are you born with this?
I think both. I think you have to have at least the natural interest and that passion again, that interest, and then you cultivate it and train and learn and develop it more and more as you get older. When I was working on that occult shop really young, I was a big draw for people coming in because I think they saw this like pure young boy that's giving these readings without much of a filter.
Right.
And that was, and for me, I learned so much from that, being a young child.
Yeah.
Giving them readings to adults and having them come back saying, well, that was amazing. You're spot on. So it was a confidence builder. And again, back to like the way I approach mentalism is I incorporate all of that into it. I don't limit myself to, I have to do magic, mental magic. I'll think, well, in the middle of doing an effect, if I get my intuition tells me something about the person, I'll share that. And that's just what I do. Whatever comes in, comes out. And I just share it and it usually works out well.
Wow.
Very cool. Do you ever have to work harder on a certain client, or is it usually like what they give is what you get, or?
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't do challenges. Like now, if people walk up to me and go, "Oh, you're a mind reader," what am I thinking?
Oh,
that kind of thing,
yeah.
or you can't hypnotize me. I go, okay, like all right, if you want to be hypnotized. I mean, I did an event once about 4 years back, and it was a psychiatric convention, and I walked in the room, and literally everybody I met, I'd introduce myself, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, what you do is bullshit."
Oh, they already started up.
And so even though I don't do challenges, I got a little perturbed. So it was supposed to be there for I think an hour. I spent 5.5 hours, hypnotized everybody in that room. The last person was real challenging, and the whole thing, you can't hypnotize me. And I said, okay. At the end of the evening, and I said to myself, I'm just going to go with this. And I said, all right, do you want to be hypnotized? He says, yeah, but you can't. I said, that wasn't the question. Do you want to be hypnotized? And he said, yes. So I hypnotized him, and I don't do anything embarrassing. I don't make people feel embarrassed or silly. It's always phenomena that's amazing to the person and to witness, like forgetting your own name, or having, your body stuck like a statue, or your hand stuck to your head, that type of fun stuff. So I did all this stuff to him for about 10 minutes. And then at the end of it, I gave him a suggestion, and I said, in a moment, I'm going to count to 2. I'm going to click my fingers. And when I click my fingers, you're going to open your eyes. You'll have no memory of being hypnotized. As a matter of fact, if anybody suggests you're hypnotized, you're going to get mad. I had 1, 2 eyes open, and he opens his eyes up, and I got him, looked at him, and he says, so? And I said, so what? And he goes, you're going to hypnotize me? And I go, you can't be hypnotized. And everybody started laughing. And everybody started laughing. And then he got really mad. And then everybody showed him the videos. And that's how I ended the night. I said, all right, good night.
That's amazing.
So you can do it. I mean, it's just fun stuff. And, again, I'm pretty thoughtful about what I do. I would never embarrass anybody. I don't do even when I do stage hypnosis, I don't do that Vegas style embarrassing stuff. To me, the phenomena itself, again, is so amazing that you can see that it's visible. When somebody's sitting there honestly trying to say their name and they can't, I'm going, June, what is your name? And you're going, June, what's your name? I'm Ralph, what's your name? That type of thing. It's like,
hey, we're going to have to do this for Natron here.
Oh, yeah, Natron.
I would love it.
Again, show him the video when he was dancing around like Elvis.
Oh, yeah. You don't remember that, right?
We do have those videos.
That's amazing. Well, so then is it mentalism? Is it like kind of like any other art where it's a muscle you have to keep training it, or? There's
different levels to it. There are magicians that they call it mental magic, which is magic that's meant to look like mentalism, and then there's straight mentalism, the way I think about it. And for that, there is a lot of work. There is a lot of work involved in it. Again, it's that plate spinning thing, that duck on the pond, or on the surface, it looks like we're just having this conversation, and in my head, I am going through the alphabet, connecting it to letters and numbers and emotions, and bringing all this other stuff together to get that effect. It looks like it just happened. Right? So that's kind of the art to it, I think, is making it just happen.
So intrigued by this. So I'm pretty sure it sounded like your family was supportive of it. What about your friends? What do they think when you're like, I'm not going to be a paramedic, I'm going to be a mentalist?
Everybody's so used to me, they just went, okay.
Well, it's a part of you. So probably the people who knew you only as a, emergency medical person, they were probably like, I know that this mentalism is a part of you. You have something that us other EMS
and at
people
some point,
don't have.
I'm assuming they they experienced it as well, right?
Oh,
I'm
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
So my private life, it's always been there. It's just when I took that step and I said, okay, I believe I'm at a level where I can charge for this.
Yeah.
And I can go out there and put it out on Front Street. So nobody in my immediate group or family was surprised at all, because this has been when I was a little kid, when I was 8, I was standing out on the street with a box doing magic tricks.
Oh, wow.
So this has been me
I
forever.
can picture that.
So, yeah.
I know. I imagine that like
Yeah.
out of a movie.
Do you remember the first time you got paid for it? Do you remember that feeling, or do you?
I do. I was walking down a beach, and this is right after I had quit the hospital, and I was still trying to figure out how to present what I do. And I just started walking down the beach, walking up to people and going, "Hey, weirdest thing, you have a minute?" And focus on somebody I had thought about for a while. And I started telling them about the person, telling them the name of the person.
Yeah.
And when people started to go like, "Wow, who are you? Where'd you come from?" And I went, "Well, I guess I have something here." And then I started to build, the show,
Yeah.
and, just more formed presentations instead of just doing it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
great.
been a great
what
trip.
feeling. And one of the common themes with Heart of the Matter podcast and the coffees I do, I'm speaking to a lot of people that they haven't found their passion yet, or they know what their passion is, but they don't want to take the step to do it because they have obligations. I love the fact that at a young age, you're like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's not work. It's
it's not work. The whole thing about do what you love and you never work a day in your life. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, a good friend of mine, Bill Scatino, said something to me once that really, resonated with me, stuck with me. As I was talking to him, and I said, well, all these other guys are presenting in this certain way. And he said, Ralph, don't worry about that. He goes, what you bring to the table is you.
Yeah.
Like you just, you just do you. Don't worry about what the other guys are doing. And I really took that to heart. And it's kind of been my little mantra ever since. Just do you. Like if you think it's interesting, most likely other people think it's interesting.
Yeah. So we talk about that all the time. Absolutely. If you're going to do something,
write the story you want to read.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's kind of like the group. The group is there because that's what I need. I'm not just leading the group because I just want to lead something. It's because I believe in the group and I believe in everyone there. But yeah, no, I love it.
Oh, what you do is so amazing. I mean, I was telling Lizelle before that, I'm just excited to come by and hang out with you and have a conversation. I mean, the podcast is it's a nice little extra, but like I just wanted to come and hang out with you and talk to you because what you do is, again, your energy is contagious. Everybody loves you. I mean, you are this group. I mean, your energy like begets like, draws these people in, I believe. And I just can't say enough good about this group.
I appreciate that. What people don't know is he taught me how to hypnotize people. I'm hypnotizing everything.
Yeah. And sleep.
No, I love it. I mean, I believe in it. And I only do what I want to do because, I've seen so many people. I've seen even my father go through life. Just, they don't love what they do. And they get to their deathbed and they're just not happy. And they have that regret, which is kind of the number one regret. I don't ever want to have that. And as I mentioned this past Friday, my son is such a big inspiration for what he's doing. I know my legacy is him. So if I continue to do this, I know my legacy lives on. So.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. That what you're saying about having a passion, I took it as a given that everybody has something they were passionate about. And but I've met so many people that say like, wow, how do you find a passion? I don't have a passion. And that's one where I don't really know what to say except for just keep trying new things. Follow your heart. Something will click. Yeah. But it made me realize that I'm fortunate that I have these things like martial arts. I was always going to be passionate about mentalism, hypnosis. These are my wheelhouse, and it never seems to get old for me. It's always exciting. It's always new to me. It's always fresh. So I do feel bad for people that feel like they don't have a passion. So to those people, I just want to say, like, just keep looking, keep trying new things. Keep, be aware of what makes you feel good, and then try to go down that rabbit hole a little deeper and see if you can find something.
Have you had a client before ask you, I don't have a passion, can you help me find one?
Yes.
In hypnosis?
Yes. And clear blockages, clear anxiety usually is a big one. If you clear the anxiety, then you're more apt to notice the things that make you feel good if you're not bogged down by that feeling of anxiety. As soon as you clear that up a bit, suddenly you start to notice more things and you can dive into those a bit deeper.
I love that. Well, that's why I came to you as a client, is I had this anxiety when driving on the freeway. And by this time I had already seen you work with June. I had seen you at the group. I had heard all these testimonials, and I was like, hell yeah, I am always looking for help. And I was like, okay, I can see that there's something that you have that I haven't tried yet. And the session that we had, absolutely, it was so cool.
Hey, can you believe we have 336 members now of the group?
I know. Crazy
growing
how
so much.
fast that was actually in a
Let's
year.
celebrate.
Okay, you're always wanting, look at that. Look how quick he is to celebrate.
Well, we have to celebrate.
What are you looking for though?
That corkscrew.
Tune. Los Cuernos. No corkscrew needed. What do you want? You want a rosé? Red. Another red. But you want Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Chardonnay, this is
Pop that open.
The session we came to my office, and you treated me in my own office. And I just remember, so after our session, it was like about an hour. I just remember driving down the freeway and like feeling what I would have felt once I started feeling that anxiety, and then it just literally like dissipated, as if I like was remembering like what could have triggered me, but it was like, no, that's insignificant now. And it was just like, and then I just kept driving, and that was a few months ago now.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but before we started, I asked you to try to get that image in your mind, feel the feelings that you felt, and then afterwards I asked you to find those feelings again. And that's when it was gone, right?
Right.
So,
right. Absolutely.
Wow.
And let me tell you guys, those of you who know me, I've done at least a dozen different types of therapies, different types of treatments for anxiety. And the hypnosis was like one of the most immediate and one of the easiest.
Yeah.
And I like easy.
Yeah.
Easy is nice.
What I try to share with people also is that we're, again, I think our natural thought is any kind of therapy or treatment has some component of being uncomfortable or painful.
Hard.
Yeah, and the nice thing about hypnosis is it's a fun experience.
It's
So
fun.
it goes
Yeah.
against everything that we're used to thinking about. It's
Yeah.
like you
Right.
can have quick, immediate change. It's a fun process. And when it's done, and in my experience with this, because I did use self-hypnosis for myself for some bad situations in my own life, is that you think maybe before you go into it, oh, when I'm done with this, the sky's going to part and the angels are going to sing. But really, it's a non-moment. It's just like, now that thing is gone, and what do I have to do next?
That's the ease.
So,
Right.
Definitely. And I also was essentially conscious for the entire session. And I'm sure there's all different types of hypnosis that you do, but like, I think sometimes people are nervous, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to do something. I don't want to. It's like, no, you know what's happening.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
hear every word you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, Erickson, he was a famous hypnotist. He said that if one's amnesia, one must insist upon it, meaning that when the person's hypnotized, you can say, and when you wake up, you won't remember any of what the session, and you'll just go on with this issue being resolved. I leave it personally. Most times I'll leave it because I figure your mind will let you recall what you need to recall or what you want to recall. You might have parts that are missing, or you might be fully aware of every single word that was said. It doesn't matter. When we use the word sleep, it's not that you're going to sleep like you do at night. It's a deep relaxation of your nervous system. It's a trance state, but it's not sleep like at night, which is why if you do hypnosis before bed, it's not going to affect your sleep in a negative way.
Right.
So
I could see that even with women who are giving birth and they do hypnotherapy. It's like, whether you did the hypnotherapy or you did not, you're in this dreamlike state. Like some women say they black out. And it's like, well, obviously you didn't black out. You were giving birth, but you're in a different brainwave in those moments. And in hypnotherapy, in hypnobirthing, it's like you're just channeling a different wavelength that maybe you're not using when you're just walking around drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that you're, like you said, you're not making anyone do something that they don't already want to do. It's you're just helping them, guide them, and it's really the power within ourselves that we can hypnotize ourselves. Yeah, you're just guiding us.
There's a school of thought that there is no such thing as a hypnotist. That only you hypnotize yourself.
Love that. I do love that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, and going back to sleep, you help me sleep. I don't sleep, and right away we had the session. Very and
that was a casual.
relaxing.
We just sat down here after a group, right?
Yeah, it was right after the group. We sat down, and I'm like, okay. And that's like you said, it's not something that all of a sudden the clouds part, and I'm like, wow.
It's just,
Right.
it's a new reality.
You asked me the next day, you're like, how'd you sleep? I was like, I actually slept.
Mhm.
But it wasn't, but again, that's the power within me. Just tapped into something where I can tap into myself.
Absolutely.
And be able to create that. That's what I love.
And that's the strength in it. And that's the other thing in this field. What I see maybe a bit too much is that there's this attempt to try to get people in for multiple sessions. I mean, it's good business, I guess, but it's just not how I approach it. My attitude is one and done. Most cases, get somebody in, get them to a solid trance state, make the change, and then if the person wants to come back for something else, of course they can. And also plugging in that self-hypnosis, because my attitude is, what if I got hit by lightning tomorrow and you're 100 years old down the road and you want to use hypnosis, you can still do it. You don't need me or anybody else. So this is my personal approach.
I like what you said about there are no hypnotists. You're giving self-hypnosis. Did you say that's Erickson's philosophy?
Erickson was talking about the amnesia, but yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I subscribe to that.
I can empathize with that, because in chiropractic we say take no credit, take no blame. It's like just because you went to the chiropractor doesn't mean you're going to heal. It's like your body is self-healing, whether you went to the chiropractor, the hypnotist, the acupuncturist, whatever. It's like you are the one controlling your own life, and us as the service provider just cleared whatever was in the way, allowing you to heal.
The guide, the person holding your hand, walking you through it. And with hypnosis, a lot of people get caught up with that word, but the person that coined the term actually decided really very soon after it caught on that he was saying that he should have named it monoideism, which is just following a singular thought in succession. So it's very clear instructions, one instruction after the next. So hypnosis is really very basic and simple, and that's its strength, I believe, is that it addresses the part of your mind that handles your automatic behavior. And an example of that, which I use a lot, is tying your shoes. There was a time when you had to learn how to tie your shoes, and that was a big deal. And you had to learn how to use a phone. You had to learn how to drive a car. It's all automatic now. And you could do all of those things at the same time without even thinking about it now, right? So it's automatic behavior. Your mind picks up negative automatic behaviors and runs them on repeat, because the subconscious, it doesn't understand or know right from wrong, good or bad. It just does things. So if it has a habit running, smoking every 47 minutes, time to smoke a cigarette, time to smoke a cigarette, that's an amazing little resource that's reminding you of that. Right. So if you say, okay, instead of reminding me to smoke a cigarette, why don't you remind me to, have a glass of water, eat an apple, take a walk, stretch, stand up. Your subconscious doesn't care, and it goes, okay, fine, I'll do that just as reliably as I remind you to smoke a cigarette. And it happens just like that.
You've been doing this for quite some time now. Do you periodically see certain themes with your clients where it's like, now everyone is having issues with passion. Before it was smoking.
It's funny that you mentioned that. It does seem to come in waves of similar. Look, anxiety is always the number one concern that people have. But for instance, I'll have periods I'll go through, like people having problems like going to the bathroom outside of their home. And you think, oh, that's an odd thing, but then suddenly I'll see 5 people in 2 weeks for that exact thing. Or fear of flying, or phobias like spiders, or they seem to come in little waves. But I've been doing this long enough that it's like, at this point, just like when I was a paramedic, I think at a certain point you've seen variations of just about everything. At a certain point. Is
there a favorite for you?
I was just gonna.
A favorite for me, or I like working. My specialty is pain control, because when people walk in, let's say 20 years of walking around with a cane from some pain, from some injury that happened, decades ago, and you treat them for the unnecessary pain that's not protecting them in any way, and they've already had it examined, so they know what what's going on, it's been addressed. At that point, any pain that's not protecting you is unnecessary. It's unneeded. It serves no purpose. So you get rid of that. So if somebody walks in 20 years of this pain and they walk out throwing the cane under the arm going, I haven't felt this good in years, that's a great feeling. So pain control is a big one. And I work with a lot of women with things like PCOS. And so that's really rewarding. As far as something that's usually fairly quick and impactful for people are phobias, like spider phobias and things like that.
I don't like clowns.
I mean, well,
let's work on it.
Clowns are the one thing nobody can stop.
They keep coming back.
Well, I don't understand why they even exist. They're not funny. They're not cute. I don't know why they're for kids.
Well, they have all those movies like It that make them lovable. All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Well,
sense.
then that's why they recreated it and made that laughable, because that movie sucked.
I haven't watched that movie because I don't want to develop a phobia.
There you go. Exactly. Well, so then do you like doing the individual one-on-ones or like group settings? Like what?
I like both. I mean, ideally one-on-one, depending on what the concern is, is the strongest, because that person's getting your full undivided attention. If I'm working in a room, everybody's going to get something out of it. Everybody's going to have an experience. They're going to get the result that they came there for. But again, there are those times where you're not going to get that individual attention.
Sure.
But, but I've done groups for everything from anxiety to smoking cessation to weight loss. To, and
that's amazing. Well, you've helped a bunch of people from the group.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people.
Yeah, you've seen it. Even that day, I mean, we probably had 120 people.
Yes.
You were able to figure out what I was drawing. I mean, even the number, the picking the numbers. I mean, people messaged me afterwards like,
"What was that about?"
What was that? What was that? I mean,
speaking of, is there anything we could do today?
I think it's too little coffee and too early.
Okay,
my brain's barely working for me right now.
Same.
Absolutely. Well, but the thing is, I see so much application because it could be in personal, like anxiety, like you said, but it could also be a corporation. They want there's a block, the salespeople, the people that work in the office.
I've worked with corporations. I've done Zoom sessions days in a row where I'm doing 35 people, the C-suite type
so you
things.
Can do it
for
via Zoom as well.
I do half my work is on Zoom. That started during COVID. And actually, I was concerned at first. I had done hypnosis over the phone even, right? But I was just like, wasn't sure how compatible Zoom would be. I was pleasantly surprised though, because Zoom, when you think about it, you have a scheduled time. You sit down in your own environment where you're comfortable. You have a focal point right here in front of you. So you're safe, you're secure. You have a focal point built in. I mean, I'm always going to be a person that if I could choose one or the other, I'd always want to be able to reach over and do this.
Right.
I like to be able to make contact. Having said that, it's pretty much a wash, though. I mean, you got to get the same result from Zoom as you would from an in-person.
Really?
It's just my personal druthers. So I would always rather, have somebody in front of me. But Zoom is wonderful.
That's amazing.
Like I said, even for groups. So
that's awesome.
great.
You're going to have to teach me. I'm the new director of sales for Tennessee Tech, so you'll have to get me to figure out how to hypnotize people.
I'll do you one better. You bring me in, I'll do it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. So.
That was my first experience with hypnotherapy for charging money for services. When I first became a chiropractor, I had this guilt of charging, and in LA we were charging a lot, and I was like, I don't want to charge people this. And my boss at the time was like, I have a hypnotherapist for you. We did 3 sessions actually, and by the end of that I felt like, wow, my value increased.
Right.
Like I have the confidence, I have the comfort to have this tangible exchange of money for my service. And I think a lot of people at the group, maybe that's a block that they have. It's like, I have something to give. I don't want to take
That's not uncommon, by the way. I see people for that exact thing.
Right.
That and what's really common, and everybody feels that it's like unique to them, is that imposter syndrome as well.
Right.
Like I shouldn't charge as much because I'm not really that person I'm pretending to be, but you are. You're
right. No, absolutely.
You're not pretending. You should
find
your worth, what you're comfortable with, and put it out there.
Yeah.
I went through a period with Mentalism where my rates for shows was much lower, and then I just decided one day that no, I think on par with what else is out there, that I'm worth more, and I raised my prices. And what happened from that was surprising. I got really good quality clients after that. Nobody blinked at the price increase. It was less headaches along the way. It was like all these things.
Yeah,
and I thought I was going to get less work. People are going to be more challenging or more apt to argue the price, and it was the opposite.
Wow.
It was the opposite. Yeah.
Well, especially, I mean, if you believe it yourself,
Right.
Yeah.
if you're hesitant about, well, I charge so-and-so, they're going to be able to feel that. But if you say, this is what I charge, I do good work, you can
Yeah.
You know, trust me or not. Like, yeah, no, absolutely.
So true.
She's gotten kind of a hand now. She only takes crypto for her.
XRP only.
Crypto and gold bullion.
Yeah. I don't mess with the shit coins. XRP only. Well, even when you said you were walking on the beach after you had quit from the hospital and you're like, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to print my business cards.
Yeah. Talk about bold actions, right?
Bold action.
Exactly. Everybody's got this like funny, like you said, imposter syndrome, but it's like nobody knows that you were not the thing that you said just the day before. It's like you were in EMS the day before, and today you've got your own business, and now look, like 25 years later.
Want it to happen and watch it happen.
Yes.
Oh, and as far as hypnosis, I just want to touch on something. The thing with hypnosis is that it's a collaborative experience also. Is that if I have somebody sit down across from me and they do, you can't hypnotize me, go ahead.
Brandon, what's going on? This is going to be our biggest deal. We can't be down.
I don't know, man. I've been trying to reach tech support for hours now. They're not responding. They said they're probably not going to get back to us for the next couple of days.
Tennessee Tech told you this was going to happen. Let's call them right now. They do the tech support, cybersecurity. They can help us.
Let's do it. All right, team. Great job. Because of Tennessee Tech, we were able to present this and close it. Good job, team.
That's how this works. This is a collaborative experience. If I ask for you to imagine something, get a feel for something, I want you to do your best. Whatever that is. If I ask you to think of a color, if I ask you to think green, maybe you'd imagine that green on the wall. There's green on my arm. Maybe you'd imagine an emerald. I don't know, but I want you to do your best to wrap your head around that thought because it's a collaborative experience. We're going to meet in the middle. So.
I definitely, but I feel like I just got hypnotized. I was picturing that. I was picturing emeralds.
And you know, it's annoying if you go to a coffee shop and you're like, I don't like coffee. Like, then what are you doing here? It's like, why would you come to my show, or why would you seek my services if you already don't believe it?
I'm sure you've seen this in jiu-jitsu where people walk in from some other system they've done years of, and they'll say, well, my old guy, or I do it this way. And it's like, all right, that's great. I mean, for conversation, for a little input, but ultimately, if you want to do that, go back and do that. Right? But if you're here to learn what I'm teaching, then pay attention to this.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, that's why if somebody tells me, oh, I've never done hypnosis before, I barely have an idea what it is. Good.
Totally.
And if you want to think about it as talk therapy, guided meditation, I don't even care what you call it, because for me, the process is going to be the same that I do, and the results going to be the same. So if it's more easy for you to wrap it in a different way in your mind, that's fine. That's fine. However you get, whatever medium, if you want, to get it to your mouth, that's fine.
Well, so, I think also it's a lot of, especially with martial arts, it's taking your ego out of it and being vulnerable. Just taking a chance. You know what? I'm going to suspend all belief right now. Let me just see what is there.
And that approach comes through also mentalism with me. Is a lot. Some mentalists are caught in this groove of, I'm the guy doing the amazing things. I'm the mystery man. I'm taking credit for everything. But I'll get people up on stage, and I think of it as spectator's mind reader. Well, I'll set them up in a situation where they're doing the mind reading, and they don't even know how they're doing it, right? Because and I don't feel like I'm losing anything. I mean, my attitude or understanding of it is, I think people grasp that without me in the mix, this thing wouldn't have come to be, right? But it's like, but in that moment, no, you take the credit. You just did something freaking amazing right here, you know? Like, so.
Well, the interesting thing that you say that is that time that you spoke in front of the group, right afterwards, there was 8 people that texted me, said that it was the strangest thing. They saw the same numbers. They saw it. They didn't guess. They just saw it. So
I got approached by 3 people on the way out. They were like, hey, I got to tell you, so I hit all 3 of those numbers.
And it wasn't a guess. They just saw it.
Just had an image,
That is so freaking cool. I was in Tahoe over the weekend, and we went to a magic show, and there was
right on.
6 seats, and there were a few kids, and it was funny because, like, you know, like the cool kids were trying to be cool, and every time the magician would present something, there was this one little girl that would be like, I know what you're going to do. And he would put it away because he was like, no, I don't want to show you something that you already know. You know, it was like, why would you want to like cross your arms?
It's
and,
not
like,
uncommon.
Negative, you know. But you know, I think that's also the cool 12-year-old kid.
Well, I think so. I think a lot of people see magic and, you know, this type of work, mentalism, as a challenge. You know, you got to get got, or you're getting one. You know, you're being conned. And that's not it. I mean, it's like I've seen magicians take out a deck of cards, and as soon as they pull the cards, somebody goes, "I know what you're going to do," and it's like, you don't. I mean, you could spend like 12 years with that same deck doing a different magic trick if you wanted. But so my attitude is I just have open conversations with people. I try to engage and ask people, pique their interest a little bit and get people curious. And then when they start asking questions, go, okay, well, how about we do this? Why don't you focus on, and then you just go into something and it's organic and just natural. As opposed to like, I'm going to show you something, I'm doing some furtive little tricky move here. And like, no.
And every time he would do something different, then she would laugh and smile. And it was like, see? You're enjoying yourself. Like, why close off to the possibility? It's like, why go to a comedy show and like put duct tape over your mouth? Like, you're here to laugh.
Be in the moment. Yeah. And again, that is something that I say a lot. I said it earlier, is that I should be a little clearer with the hypnotherapy and the performance mentalism. But in mentalism, my goal is that you escape your regular, usual reality for a short while.
I love it.
Where you just suspend belief, where things are going to happen here that you're not used to, that shouldn't happen, that make no sense to you, but it should be fun and amazing. Make you feel good and different.
I love it. So then that's to me, Feel Good Friday.
Yes.
So when everyone comes here and they've had a difficult week, they just come here just to feel the energy, and amazing, beautiful things just naturally happen. People are like, whoa, someone has a need. Somebody happens to show up that fulfills that need. So it's like, I love that, but you're exactly right. I think if you can just kind of suspend time and just be present.
A big part of hypnosis is pattern breaks. It's just breaking patterns. And that's what Feel Good Friday is. It's a pattern break in the week. You come here and you can rest assured you're going to see smiling faces and people that genuinely have, everybody's best interests are. I've never once, from the first day I came here, which is odd, hesitated if I had a question about something to put it in front of the group. Ask people to reach out because people are very willing and happy to help. And I want to return the favor.
Totally.
Because this is a special group.
Yeah.
So.
How good was that episode?
So good. Let's celebrate.
Where do you want to go?
JoJo's Creamery.
Ooh, my favorite. Look at all the flavors.
They even have vegan.
Ooh, awesome.
Hi, welcome in, you guys.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Good. Is there anything I can get started for you?
My go-to is peanut butter cup and coconut almonds.
So I'm going to do coconut mounds in a cup, please.
All right, that'll be $15.85.
All right. Wait, my wallet.
June, you can use repegs.
Oh, that's right.
And you guys get 2 free cookies with those.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Repegs is so easy to use. Thanks a lot.
Speaking of the group, so we have so many different practitioners, right? Some people do meditation, sound bath, somatic work. What would you say some of the differences, some of the synchronicities of mentalism and some other modalities, like let's say savasana at the end of yoga or whatever?
Mentalism, probably not much. Just the focus on that is just for like demonstrative entertainment. Hypnosis, I see a lot of similarities in everything from the breath work, the meditation, and that type of work. Anything where you're calming your mind and focusing on your internal experience, not your external experience. I think that's where you're getting closer to what hypnosis is. I just think that hypnosis is just like, my opinion, the ultimate strip down, straight to the core, arrow to the target, addressing that part of your reality, your mind, that subconscious part that does that automatic behavior, the part that's beneath that inner voice, the part that just runs the mechanism. It runs your heart rate, your breathing, all of your cellular activity. It runs every deepest, most important part of you. And that's the part that you address with hypnosis. So,
can you do our drop-in?
Huh?
Can you do one of our drop-ins on a Friday for the group? You know how we do the drop-in where we kind of meditate?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
I was thinking about
cool.
it, but I saw you were having people do a little.
Oh, just rotate.
Things.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Really?
I would love
That'd be
to.
fun.
I would love to. That'd be
Nice.
great. Yeah.
That'd be great. So
Good
then,
idea.
what's the best way that people can get in contact with you?
They can reach me through my website. It's Hamrick Hypnosis, HAMRICK hypnosis.com. Also, if you look up Ralph's Mentalism for the mentalism side of things, that's out there as well. I have my website for that.
Okay.
We can include my information if you'd like, my direct phone number. If anybody wants to reach out, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Again, it was truly effective on me. It sounds like it was effective for you as well.
Thank you.
Can you leave our audience with one thing as far as, say someone is trying to find their passion, or they have a block? Is there something that, not necessarily, obviously you can't hypnotize all our viewers, but is there something where we can internally just be like, this is what we need to do?
Yeah, I think that just calming your mind and thinking about things that honestly make you feel. Not that you think about, things that just make you feel good. And then look deeper into those areas. Maybe it's reading a book or whatever it might be. Find something that gets you closer to the things that make you feel better and keep going down those paths until they open up wider and wider and wider. But for the main thing, I think, is that calming that inner voice. And if you have an inner voice that's saying negative things to you, if you have an inner voice that's saying things to you that you wouldn't let anybody else say to you, you need to address it and just look at it like somebody standing in front of you and say, what do you have to say that's positive, constructive? I don't need the pejoratives. I don't need that inner voice saying bad things to me about myself. You need to calm that, quiet that down. And as far as finding a passion, I think quiet that voice down. Do what you can to get your anxiety under control if there's an anxiety issue, and just be open to being aware of the things that make you feel better, and then just going down those paths more and see where it leads you.
Beautiful.
I love it. I love it. I love what you do. I appreciate you being here. Any big events or anything coming up soon that the audience should know about?
Well, I have a show with John on Saturday night. He's doing a dinner and we're doing a show over there, but I believe that's sold out right now, and everything else is private events for the time being. So nothing on the public calendar just yet. But
cool.
We're gonna have to do some more events.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, even the we have that singles group, singles event.
Great
It'd be
idea.
great to do
Mentalism is great for those types of events because you bring
Absolutely.
people together, especially if they're uncomfortable and they're nervous, and you can just say, hey, why don't you come over here? You guys don't know each other. Great, let's do this thing together.
Yeah.
And it's a great conversation piece as well. So.
Okay.
You can add matchmaking to your repertoire.
There you go.
That's right.
Exactly.
You don't like him, you don't like her.
There you go. Yeah.
Move on. Yeah.
And now they're married. Okay.
All right. Well, again, I appreciate you being on here. We're gonna have to when we have more time next time, we'll hypnotize Natron here.
I'd love to.
We'll see. We'll make him forget how to dance and see what happens.
Well, I just say for the record and in front of everybody, I love these guys.
So,
We love
right
you.
on.
This was so fun. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Ralph.
much. Right on.
thank you again.
Thanks, June.
Thank you, Dr. Lucelle. Like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify.
Solid.
All right.
Right on.